Natasha Arndt is a 20-year-old college student. She holds down a part-time job and has a busy social life. While her life seems the epitome of the average young adult, Natasha must balance her life with the diagnosis of systemic lupus erythematosus, more commonly known as lupus.
I first discovered that I had lupus about a year ago in February. I was diagnosed.
Natasha faces a challenge that many others suffering from chronic illness face: balancing her life as a young adult with her medical needs. She went into detail about how lupus affects her daily life and how it has impacted her mental health.
I could hardly walk. I could hardly stand without feeling pain everywhere. To the point where my mother would have to help me out of the bathtub. It's changed a lot of my relationships with people. It's changed how I've been able to, do my daily life, live my life generally. And it's also changed, how I'm defined in other people's eyes as well.
Her mother also sat down to give her perspective.
There was a sense of relief when we got her diagnosis, because finally we had an idea of what was going on, so there was a sense of hope that there was a treatment. It has been a whirlwind of calendars full of doctor's appointments. It affects our schedules, for example. Again, taking Tasha to appointments, many she can get to on her own, but if she's, if her joints are flaring up or whatever, I'm certainly not going to expect her to take a bus.
Lupus is a disease that affects the immune system, causing it to attack healthy tissue. The illness has a range of symptoms, from skin rashes and inflammation of the joints to complications in various organs. There is no definitive cause for lupus. The disease is chronic, unpredictable, and without a cure. There are many factors that can trigger a lupus flare-up, including sunlight exposure, fatigue, some medications, and stress.
So I definitely find myself feeling more stress. I feel like I have to prove to people that I'm stronger than my illness. And I also feel this internal struggle to not use my illness as an excuse.
Almost 90% of lupus diagnoses are in women. The disease also tends to discriminate against many different ethnic groups. For every one Caucasian woman affected by lupus, 3 women of African descent are diagnosed. Additionally, 2 women of Latin descent and 2 of Asian descent will be diagnosed as well.
After receiving the initial diagnosis, it's weird because I felt almost relieved and almost excited, which I know sounds very strange. The relief came from the fact that prior to the diagnosis, I had been waiting 2 years for a doctor to tell me it's lupus or it's not lupus. But I am definitely not excited about it anymore, having had kidney failure, joint pain, missing so much work, school.
Treatment for lupus is primarily symptomatic through the use of medication. Various medicines, from vitamins to steroids to chemotherapy, are used to reduce the symptoms of lupus.
This one's topiramate. I use it as a daily preventative for my migraines. Hydroxychloroquine. I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's the one. It's my Plaquenil. That's the clinical name for it. It prevents my lupus, essentially.
Again, there is no cure for lupus, and thus treatment can only respond to symptoms, not act in a preventative manner.
So regarding
family, friends, and a strong team of doctors can help to treat physical symptoms and to boost morale against the drain of having to live life with this chronic illness.
My family has definitely been a huge support to me throughout this whole situation. I've had a lot of support from my friends and my peers, specifically Lee. He's been a huge support to me. And even my doctors. I've had a doctor, my nephrologist, my kidney doctor, he gave me his cell phone number to call him or text him whenever I have a problem.
Lupus, like any chronic disease, is incredibly demoralizing. Often those fighting the illness can only take solace in the fact that their symptoms will come and go. By the same token, it can feel like another flare-up is right around the corner.
Knowing that at any moment, like right now I might be okay, but just because I'm stressed out or I use the wrong type of skin product or I get a bee sting, my liver could start failing and I could end up in the hospital for 3 months is just terrifying to me.
Many people who are diagnosed with lupus have taken to referring to themselves as lupus warriors, constantly fighting a battle against the illness. Many lupus warriors form support structures online to assist each other. An example of this is the My Lupus Story project.
My name is Mary, and I'm making this video just to share my lupus story thus far.
It would be good for me to share my story with you guys.
And if you know me, you guys know that I have lupus, so I thought it would be a great time for me to share my lupus story.
So those of you who don't know my condition, I have lupus.
We now officially have a diagnosis. I have what is called lupus.
As it currently stands, Natasha is not about to suddenly be cured of her illness. She has a long journey ahead of her.
I don't want to just live my life letting lupus eat away at me.
All she can do is live life day by day and accept support and advice when it is offered.
What I've learned from my experience with Tasha is this. I've struggled with wanting to protect her health. But on the other hand, I struggle with wanting to protect her ability to have a normal childhood, life as a teenager and life as a young adult. And it's a constant struggle. So I guess my advice to someone with a chronic illness, and you're going to have rules and regulations that your doctors give you and all of that, is to find your balance and allow yourself a little bit of leeway to have some normalcy in your life while still respecting your health and your body.